afternoon, my wonderful listeners. Welcome to another episode of How Did You Show? Today, I'm recording an episode number 30. It's a big one, a nice rounding number, and I'm bringing you a very, very special guest today. A very good friend of mine now as well, which I'm very proud to say, and I feel very lucky to call her my friend. She is one of the most amazing human beings out there. It's a multiple business owner, ex-investment banker, the absolute queen of networking, mother, and I'm sure I found some. I forgot one more thing. One and only Liz Baitson. Welcome to my show. Welcome to be here today.
Thank you so much, Lincoln. What an amazing introduction. I forgot that I do all of those things. I thought the last one was going to be like an absolute pain in the backside, because I am also that.
And you're actually not the one I forgot was the angel investor. I knew that I forgot something. I was like, yes. I knew there is one more really good one. You're an angel investor as well. How could I forget that? So there we go. Welcome to my show. Liz, you know how special you are to me, and when you accepted my invitation, I was so happy and I was so excited for today. So welcome again, and thank you again for accepting. So I don't think we need to introduce too many of my listeners, because you're absolute queen of networking, and you are everywhere. Everybody knows who Liz is. You are so beautiful and wonderful inside and out. Everybody loves you. But for those who don't, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are?
Yeah. Oh my God, I just feel on top of the moon. And it's funny you said angel investors, because we were just talking about angels, and I am all of the things you said as well, but I am also incredibly interested in not just people in their in the networking field, in terms of their business and what they can do and how it can help them, how they can help me. I'm interested in their soul. So that's really, I guess, the central part of all my businesses. So yeah, I run High Net Connect, which is a network. It's a members club for high net worth individuals, but it's also a network of different types of people, depending on where they are in their journey. So some people are in the executive network, so they might be still in work. I say still, I'm not trying to get everyone out of work into the world of entrepreneurialism, but you know, there is a lot of people that go from corporate to entrepreneur. Yeah. And then also the Entrepreneur Network, which is the business community online, and that's a really buzzing group, which I absolutely love. But there's loads of things I do, Lenka, and I just feel like none of it's work. The only things that are work are the paperwork, you know, because I am a property, a bridging finance lender as well as an angel investor. There's a lot of there's a lot of this paperwork stuff. I'm just looking at a contract now to buy a house, and that's boring, and I really don't like that part of work. But the rest of it I don't see as work at all, because as we were talking about before, all of my businesses are to do with connection. They're to do with people, because that's actually all business is. It's just getting other people to do stuff. And do stuff for other people. That's all it is.
Yeah, leverage.
There's nothing else to it. So if you've got healthy relationships, everything flows well. So yeah, the main part of my businesses is about connection. So I'll connect people with what they need. So that could be an amazing car, or £4.5 million diamond that I just got sent to not sent to me personally, just sent to my WhatsApp group saying, do you want to buy a diamond? Or it could be funding, or it could be, looking for portfolios. So I guess I'm the hub where people can find who they want or what they want. I think would that cover most of it, Lenka?
You are just amazing in many ways, but talking about the relationships and talking about building relationships and nurturing relationships, you are the absolute queen, and one of the experts now. Like, you know, you what's the word I'm looking for? You're known. That's the word. Like, you're known now to be the expert of building relationships as well, and it's in business, it's very important, as we say, relationships first, business second. In no matter what business it is, it's always people business, especially like property or any business. It's a people's business, and so people have so much to learn from you as well about like how important is that you have to have good relationships, and you are flying. You are flying. And when someone is following you, and like some of your stories, like what's her name? You made a post recently about someone you were scared of. What's the name of this?
Oh,
It was so wonderful.
yes,
But what,
yes.
what's her name?
Cal
Cal.
Pandora.
Yes.
Yes, she's
It's
my
and it's I love that so much because it's true. You do get sometimes that feeling from someone who is a little bit maybe to see, because we are very bubbly, and
yeah.
someone a little bit more serious looking, we are like, ooh, intimidated, we're like, ooh. But as you said, it just shows as well that even that relationship can be one of the best relationships you ever had. So we got so much to learn from you. I'm
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
your biggest stoker.
Oh, I love you. Well, as likewise, I think that you can really pick up, and you've been through. It's funny because so many of my business relationships started online through Facebook. So Facebook, I've got a lot. I owe a lot to. It's made me very successful, and it is like, I stalk people like you. I see your soul beaming through. It's very hard sometimes to translate your true authentic self through onto social media, but once you've cracked it, and then people will be magnetized to you. So I absolutely, I've met the best people in my business life through social media, including Cal. And we were arguing on a well-known property trainer group. And I got chucked out of that group. I was a
Wow.
troublemaker. I was a troublemaker. I was being controversial and rude. And I was doing that on Cal's post, who has now become my business partner. Because even when you are, one of the reasons that I guess I am much, much better these days, and I help other people learn how to upgrade their relationships, not just business-wise, but with themselves, because that's actually where it starts, is because I've made so many mistakes. I've been in very bad businesses. I've been in very bad relationships. I have upset a lot of people, and a lot of people have upset me. And I think through evolving, now I'm 43, and I'm getting to that stage of life where I look back and I think, God, I was an idiot then, and I should have done this and I should have done that. And I've just made up with my children's father, who's my first husband. I just made it up with him because I thought, you know what, our kids are like 11 and 13 now. It's really time to start arguing. And it's incredible. Since then, it's only been like a week or so, but since then, so many amazing things have blossomed. So even when you're having a really crappy time with somebody, it can be a reflection of something that's going on inside yourself. So often when crap things are happening to me and I was having a lot of crap from other people, I was being crap too. I wasn't the best friend. I wasn't the most honest. I didn't act with integrity. So now I've learned the hard way. I'm very strict. Oh my God, Lenka, you've seen me in my groups. My standards are so high for relationships because they used to be very low.
Yeah, and it's so important, isn't it? It's like you've learned from, as you said, we've made mistakes. We are human beings. We all make mistakes, but the important is to learn from it. And lots of people don't. Lots of people they just have something is going wrong in their life, but they kind of stay where they are. They don't really do anything about it, and it's so important to realize it, do something about it, learn from it, and then you have the opportunity to try again, and hopefully avoid the mistakes you've made before.
And that those patterns, have you noticed as well in your life, Lenka, or anyone, people around you, even celebrities, celebrities that you kind of watch their life from afar, and they just keep making the same mistakes, or they keep getting with the same person or the same woman or the same man, and and it's like the universe will keep giving you the same stuff until you sort your stuff out. And I really was careful not to swear then, because it's us.
You can.
I was really being good on your podcast. I have so much respect.
You wouldn't be the first one.
I bet. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it through. It's all about you, isn't it? And I was treated in a certain way because I believe a lot of it came from my self-worth, and I'm not blaming anyone for that. If you've grown up in an abusive situation, or where you've just not had love, or you've not had positive reinforcement about who you are, or you've just been celebrated for what you can do as opposed to who you are, which is one of my cases. I didn't have great self-worth in myself, and so of course I attracted situations that reinforce that. So we were talking earlier about
law
the
of attraction.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. Be careful who you're attracting, basically.
Yeah. Oh, Lenka, you have to share that nugget of wisdom that you were saying about abundance, because that's like blown my mind. Because there'll be a lot of people with that word on their vision board.
That abundance of everything good. So just for the listeners out there, it's like, so in business, it's so important to have the right mindset. And me and Liz, before we started to record our episode, we've been talking about the blueprint we have from our parents or from our friends' childhood. So the blueprint about money and the mindset in general, and what I'm trying to say. I lost my...
It's almost, and you have limitations and blocks, don't you, that don't even come from you.
Yes, absolutely. And it's so important to work on that when you are becoming a business person. So it's not only about go and study a business, study economics, study, I don't know, a strategy you want to be doing. That is just a piece of puzzle. The other piece, it's here. It's like, it doesn't matter what knowledge you're going to have if you're not going to have the right mindset to attract the abundance of everything good, to attract the right people in your life. So so we were talking about the abundance. And I was saying to Liz that I have the vision board, and on my vision board I have this word abundance, but I was very careful and I've added of everything good, because you can attract abundance of negative stuff. So be careful what you're attracting. So important, isn't it? So important.
You've changed. Honestly, Lenka, I can see people listening to this and they're looking at their vision board and they're just going, oh hell, I've got abundance.
Yeah, I need to add that magic word, no, of everything good.
Yes, everything good.
Amazing.
It's such a, and you know what? That small shift like that is exactly what I truly believe has had the biggest profound effect on me. Because for me, it's always the small things. It's actually, I think we're a lot closer to our true selves, in alignment with our true selves than we think we are. We always think we're so far away, our perfect self, our perfect life, our perfect, relationship, so far away, and we have to do all this work to make it happen. And I actually think we're so much closer. Every single day we wake up, I always say this thing, where we don't know where we've come from, and we don't know where we're going, and the only thing we know is that there's others of us around. So this is the only true thing we can really rely on. We can pretend we know that we started in the Big Bang. We can pretend we know about heaven and hell, but we don't. The only thing we know is right here, right now, each other, community, the way we treat each other, and all of that, even money that we're so desperate for. All money is just getting people to give you stuff, getting people to do stuff. It's just community. Actually, it all boils down to other people and how you relate to them. And so it's and it's beautiful, because we can control that.
That is so true. Is that so? So how did you become the queen of networking? So you understand the power of networking. You understand the power of the right mindset, surrounding yourself with the right people, and the power of free marketing called Facebook, Instagram. So networking, the free marketing, you understand the power of all that. So how did that all started? How did you, so for those listeners who are not part of your communities, and it's called High Net Connect. It's used to called High Net Network. And it was so hard to pronounce, didn't it? Yeah, so change it to High Net Connect. So guys, jump on if you're not there yet. Tell us a bit more about how it all started.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting. High Net Connect my intention was not to create a business out of it. It was supposed to be a container, because I tell you what, most of the things that I've done in my life were born out of anger. So I'm a really lazy person. To get me to do anything, you have even joyful things. I'm not materialistic. This is from Primark, and I very rarely. Oh, bless you. I just don't really. I guess I'm not invested in things so much, and it's not saying I'm a monk or anything. I'm just I'm just not bothered. But I do spend a lot of money on crystals. So
My
I am materialistic. Yeah, I am materialistic on those types of things. But in terms of the normal, I guess, status symbols, I'm just not really that interested in. And so but the people that I work with are. And for some reason, as time went on, that was it, anger. So I wanted to create a lot of wealth, because when I was working in investment banking, I was earning good money. And then I became pregnant, couldn't really work. I didn't want to go back to work full time because I wanted to raise my kids. And I really was like stuffed. I was like, how am I going to get that kind of money again, working from home, doing part-time hours? And I was searching everywhere, searching the internet, looking on, Indeed.com, part-time work. And it was all just crap. It was all just rubbish. And I was thinking, how do these people make so much money? And the word property, our favorite word, Lincoln, because obviously you're a property person as well. Property popped up on my Facebook, actually, believe it or not. And it was a little advert to go along to a free 2-hour presentation about property and how it could change your life. You can make millions. And I was like, oh, yeah, let me have some of that, because I can do that. And I know people have heard some of this story before. But anyway, the very short version is that I got sucked into this world of property. And I was then given this sold upsell. And they were like, we need £20,000 off you today, or, XYZ. You will never, the words were, you will never get a good enough network to make it in property if you don't sign up today. Wow. And I was fuming. I was so mad. Wow. And I had the money, but I said, no, don't tell me that I'll never make a network. Got back onto my laptop when I got home, and I started searching Facebook, and I was looking for property groups. UK Property World came up. Deals and Opportunities, Grant Erskine's group came up, Property Progressive, and I was in. And then I became a pest. Not quite a troll, because I wasn't that negative. But I started going in and asking questions and just pestering people. Like, what's this and what's that? And getting free information and picking.
Don't ask, you don't get.
Exactly. I became one of those people that's really annoying, like, the ones that just say, oh, hi, can I have your time for free? Because I didn't realise, and I didn't understand the etiquette. You have to pay for stuff. Yeah. And so I was just like, anyway, a few people kind of scooped me up, and they were like, come and invest with me. You're going to make lots of money. I threw lots of money at them, and that money has still not come back. So I lost a lot of money. Yeah, I was very naive, very green. But what did happen, and going back to original question, how did I start my network? Me going into all these different Facebook groups, becoming a pest, having my little face pop up, every time there was a question or me putting questions on there, I started to become known. And I don't know what it was, Lenka. I don't know if it was that I was just a complete idiot and people felt sorry for me, or that I was just be honest and I'd just be funny and say stupid things. People started to like me and follow me, and I'm like, why? I don't know anything. All I know is that I want to know. And so people started to see that they were where I was, and I sort of started gathering a following of people that are exactly the same stage of their journey. And then as I went up the journey,
your energy.
Yes. I was keen, I was excited, I didn't have a bloody clue what was going on, and I was in it, and I didn't have any shame either. So I just
nice, my girl.
And that's how it started, and that's it. And I realized it's not as easy for everyone to do that, because there's a lot of self-consciousness when it comes to online. But for me, the best thing I did was start to be myself. So really and truly, the first couple of years, I was kind of following gurus around, and I was trying to act like they act. And, every time you have like lunch with somebody that you knew, I would go like that and then say, like, I'm a blanket today and I'm having lunch. And so I did all of that stuff. Or I'm a progressive and I'm doing this. And I do selfies, and that worked. That's a great strategy to get people to know what you're doing. Yeah, absolutely. You are literally showing people where you are, even though I was absolutely clueless. And that was about 5 years ago. And then over time, I just spoke, and I know you'll understand this as well as an entrepreneur. The entrepreneurial community is incredibly sharing, incredibly open-minded, because they have to be. You have to be open-minded to be an entrepreneur. and you're often open-hearted. Not always.
And you also need to be able to give in order to get. You need to share. It's the exchange as well, like a invisible exchange. You help someone else helps you. It's the flow, isn't it? Exactly. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but yeah, it's the.
Oh, I love that. I love you doing that, because that's beautiful, and that's exactly what business is, and that's exactly what abundance of wealth and abundance of money is. It's a flow of energy. Sorry, my partner keeps sneezing. Andy, it is exactly that. And wherever I learn something and somebody else put a question up and I think, oh, someone answered that question for me yesterday, let me answer them. So I became, like you said, a giver. So I gave anything I got. And in the beginning, I didn't have much to give, but I gave it. And then over the years, over 5 years, I got to a stage where I've now got I've got a huge amount to give, because I've been given so much. And that abundance flow of wisdom, of energy, of experience is now just pouring like in and out of me. And I'm just surrounded by the most incredible people. And part of High Net Connect is about surrounding yourself with people, not just a much high level of wealth, but people perhaps that are a higher vibe in other ways. So you can have less money, but you could be more happy, or you can have better relationships, or you can have more wisdom in health and whatever. And so you hang out with people that are a higher vibe, and then you'll come up to their vibe and you teach each other. So what somebody gives on one level, that person will give back. And it's just so beautiful to actually witness how community can literally change everything. It's changed my life.
And do you have do you consider yourself being a good judgment of character, like when you, because you network so much, do you obviously, and in the past obviously, as we were saying, that we make mistakes and things like that, do you feel like this is a skill you have, like you're a good judge of character, or do you still make mistakes? What do you think? Because it can be, you network so much, so I just wonder.
Yeah, I network all the time. I'm a terrible judge of character. I'm really, really, really bad. I'll tell you why. Because
I just love everyone, because you're just a loving person. You don't want to be thinking negative about people, because you just want to think positive. And it's like trying to find the positive in things instead of. So I know, like, I get that.
I know you're the same. I'm a terrible judge of character, and I've got myself into all kinds of trouble because I've been all kinds of hell on earth I've got myself.
That's because you're so loving. It's like it's a punishment for being too nice.
Yeah, completely. And I have had to learn, because I am too open, I have had to learn to put boundaries up. So now I go very much on not what's just happening on a mental basis, because everyone excites me, and I really do. I feel a lot in my heart, and I want to see the best. Your heart has got like a certain wisdom, but your gut is the one that you got to listen to. So even though my heart was like, I want to see the good in this person, they're amazing, I want them to be great, and my mind's going, oh yeah, they're smart, and actually maybe they're, but my gut was going, no, just escape. And then my heart and my mind were going, just F off, I'm not listening to you. And that's when I screwed up. So now I have to have my mind, my heart, and my gut has to say the same thing. And then I know that I'm onto the right thing. But it's taken me so long to learn, Lenka.
Nice. But it's but isn't that just interesting again, how you said that you need to like listen to learn to listen to different parts of your body. It's not just here or what you think or what you want in your heart. As you said, it's free. It's the mind, it's the heart, and it's the gut. It's so important. The gut feeling is so important.
Your gut is very, very, very sensible. I guess it's the only rational part of you. I mean, people say that, everything's, we were saying earlier, everything's love and everything's one and unity. But my God, if you walk around living like that, you're going to be trampled on. You're going to be destroyed, because actually, not everybody's awake. Not everybody's aligned with their highest truth. And you can get into very dangerous situations. I've been in very dangerous situations because my heart has said one thing, my mind has said something, and then my gut has just been ignored. And your gut is for some people, it's a real learning curve. Some people have got a very good gut instinct, like they really do. Like my business partner Cal, for example, she will say no before she says yes to somebody because she's listening to her gut instinct. And I'm there like, oh, happy and laugh, and everyone's my friend until they're not. But I'm
like living in this unicorn world with crystals and just like loving everybody.
Yes, that's how I wish life was. But then
know.
I remember, I know. Wouldn't it be great? Well, in the other life, in the real world, it is like that.
Yeah.
But in this crazy, matrix world.
I know. I thought of that as well, like a matrix. It is the only reality we know, but we know that it's more there somewhere.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I totally believe that.
100%.
I think that's probably what we're linking into. When we want to see the best in somebody, we're looking at their higher self. And I do believe even the most evil people have a higher self. It's just the role that they're playing on this earth or this matrix, this dimension right now. So we were saying as well that we learn a lot from the bad relationships we have if we come out of them in one piece. We can get very damaged and we need to heal. A lot of us need to heal from those things. And I've had a lot of healing in the last probably 2 years. But I wasn't a happy person probably 2 years ago. I wasn't a very happy person. And my bank account and my business reflected that. That's exactly, even though I had the most glorious, shiny businesses, where was the bit coming to me? Where was the actual true abundance? Where was my happiness? Where was my joy? It wasn't there because I wasn't being truthful and I wasn't being my real self. And so everything that all my judge of character and all of that stuff now, everything that's good for me and all the good relationships I have, like this one I have with you, which is so beautiful. And it's the reason you're in my life now and not 3 years ago is because I have adjusted those things inside me that needed it. Because I was a bit of a shit and I can still be. Oh, I swore. Sorry, Lenka.
No, honestly. It is very, people swear on my podcast.
Oh God, sorry. Yeah, I am a bit of a I come from Essex.
I do too. I do too.
Oh, you do swear? Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, don't worry.
I couldn't think of a nice way. I was going to say twat, but I used to be a bit of a twat. And I used to be really selfish and I used to and not in a conscious way, so I was walking around thinking I was a great person, but I wasn't. And I think so often it's really hard to look at ourselves, and so often when things don't go well, it's easy to blame others and ourselves because we don't want to go into depression and be too down on ourselves. And I agree with that, but at the same time you have to be real with yourself. And if you have been egotistical, selfish, fearful, all of the things that you don't want to be, those things can all be overcome. They really can. And I'm not perfect and I'm still a bit of a twat. I'm sure if you ask my partner, but I've now got a great relationship and I didn't before because I have a much better relationship and acceptance of myself. And I know I sound like I'm a broken record, but every good part of networking, this is what I mean, like I just had blueberries brought to me. I deserve the good things that come to me now because I give out the right energy. Before it was always like, how can I not the word manipulate was not in my mind before, but this is how I used to think. How can I get to that person and get what I need out of them? How can I work my way into that person's life so I can influence them to give me what I need? And I'm really open. I'll tell people that's how I used to live. The day I stopped doing that, the day I realized by saying that I was putting them above me. No. Now I'm like, what can I give that person? Boom. Suddenly the whole world changed and I became worthy.
Big bang, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
Totally.
Fireworks.
Totally. It really was, Lenka. It was literally like, so I thought I was sort of tricking them, but actually I was tricking my damn self because I was saying I wasn't worthy enough to give them. I wasn't good enough for them. I had to play a role or try and brown nose them or influence them. It's all bull crap. You are so worthy, whether you got experience or not. It doesn't matter. Your soul is worthy. It absolutely is.
And everybody's got something to offer. And it's like, even when you just start, as we were saying before, even when you started to network and you felt like I have nothing to offer, like I only asking questions, I have nothing to offer. But you said that, but somehow people started to follow you, but you felt like, why are you following me? Like I know nothing. I completely share that feeling, because I was like that, and people and I was following others, trying to learn, just like you. I was on different groups and trying to learn more about property and reading different and asking questions and reading different articles, etc. I mean, posts and oh my goodness, I've done it again. Well, I lost my train of thoughts.
You were putting yourself as below what they were, because
yes,
you were new.
but you have well done. You always have something to offer as well. So someone, let's say, yes, they have a better knowledge maybe about how to do holiday lets, if that's what you want to do. However, you might be able to show them how to be a better networker, or how to be a better, happier person, or whatever that is, that you can attract someone to your life, even if they have a very different level of business experience, for example, but they would follow you as well, because you have a different skill, you have things to offer. And that's what lots of people don't do, because when you and I did, when we started to network, because we were like, right, I'm going to go out there, tell me everything you guys know, I want to be in this world, I want to learn as much as possible, I want to be part of this world. Lots of people, they get shy and like, I have nothing to offer, what do I offer, why they would follow me, who would want to help me, I'm just a little person, no one ever heard of me. But get out there anyway, because you never know, everybody has something to offer for someone. And it's so important, isn't it? As you said, we are worthy of more, and everybody has something to offer, even if it's just a person just below your level. So you know something what you didn't know last week, but there's someone who doesn't know what you now know. So just don't be shy. And and the mindset, it's so important to have to shift the mindset, isn't it? Definitely.
So that is so important. That's going to help so many listeners, Alenka, what you just said there. The thing that you didn't know last week and you found out, there's going to be another person that you can help. You know, it doesn't matter. And you know what? Sometimes, especially with these super wealthy people, you know, I have got myself into all kinds of deals with these really crazy, wealthy and amazingly experienced business people, and I'm like, and I've actually had my friends say to me, why do they want to work with you? And you know what it is sometimes.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I know what you mean. But I know what you meant.
I even ask myself, and I'm like, what do they want? And actually, a lot of it is, I ask people this question. So they say, well, I haven't got anything to offer, or like, I don't have anything to offer in the, I don't know, let's think of an industry that I'm working in at the moment, the semiconductor industry. I don't know anything about that. But what am I as a character? So everybody we know is an adult usually. There's some young people coming into this world, but most people, if you're an adult, if you know right from wrong, if you know the difference between integrity and, you know, and trust and all of those good things, all those good qualities, if you can smile, if you've got physical, you know, the physical ability, the psychological ability to be an open, friendly, physical person, and also, I don't mean that I mean like literally when you're in the room with someone, your body language will tell a lot about you. So you have to work on your smile, the way you sit, the way you make people feel. People will remember the way you make them feel more than what you've told them. So if you're somebody that can take mastery of their own body, if you can smile, if you can talk with a sense of authority, or even a soothing voice, or even a happy, joyful voice, you can actually bring stuff to people's lives that you don't even know. Some people just want someone to listen. Some people just want someone to laugh with. Some people just want somebody to bounce ideas off. And that's what a lot of these people that are super wealthy will come to me for, because they know I don't need them. They know they can trust me. They know I'll make them happy because I'll probably laugh and my sense of humor is ridiculous. I'm always at the point of hysteria, like all the time. Like we've laughed quite a lot today. It's so important. And I'll smile my thinking head off. They're the things every single human being on this earth can do. And you can be a warm person. And like I said, body language, if you're physically obviously limited, it's difficult. But if you're not, if you're sitting like that, in a meeting with your arms crossed and your legs tight and your face stony, people are not going to want to be around you.
It's what the energy gives you.
Exactly.
Or you just by looking at a person like that, you feel the tight energy, and it's like there's no float in there. Like you can actually see it, like a rock,
yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
And like nothing can float there. Nothing.
No.
Can...
No, nothing floats.
And it's the floats what we were talking about, isn't it? It's so important. Open up. Open your arm. Hello, everybody.
Open your heart, open your mind, open your arms and welcome people. And even, as I said, even a brand new beginner, say you're in a networking meeting, you just walked in and there's loads of people, you're a bit late and everyone's kind of talking to each other. Literally use your physicality to make friends. So you can literally look at the people that are perhaps on their own, sat on their own somewhere, not talking to anybody. Breaking into a conversation is a skill, it's a talent to go into a group of people and open up and then not dominate the conversation, but add to it and be a welcome voice. There's actually techniques you can use, which I've just developed over the years by practice, that you can physically make yourself a very useful person by being somebody that actually takes the energy of a situation that's awkward and makes it happy. So I will go into a room, and if I see someone that's sitting on their own or someone that's not speaking, I'll go directly to them and ask them a question. And usually you ask them a damn question, they won't shut up. They're literally been waiting for you all their life. So you can add value to someone. Yeah, exactly. And they're like looking at someone in the eyes, listening to someone. Every single person can do that. And if you don't think that's adding value, you're very sorely mistaken, because people pay thousands of go to America and you can, I'm not saying all psychologists do is listen, but a lot of them just do. You can pay thousands of pounds an hour just to listen.
Yeah.
So that's a massively valuable thing that every single person online, you can do it online and offline. You can do it online by making sure you engage with other people's posts and respond back in a way that makes them feel valued. That is one of the biggest things that you can do for someone as a complete beginner in any industry.
I love that. I absolutely love that. What a beautiful advice. And as we said as well, you don't have to necessarily travel miles away and plan your week around the meetings and spend money on the petrol if you can afford it, for example. We have these online platforms which we're talking about, and they're free. So even if you can't do something physically because of your commitments or responsibilities or money-wise, we have this online world which is free. And as I said, you are a perfect example of what can be done, and what can be done and how you can help people just by, as you said, engage with others, listen to them. And now you even created a businesses out of it. Not businesses. Just by talking to people.
Literally,
amazing.
Literally that.
For free.
It's amazing. Sorry, I got so excited and I talk over people, and that's that I need to, because I'm actually an people don't get, they go, you're not an introvert, and I say, well, if you meet me in real life, I am not the loudest person in the room. I'm usually the quietest, and I'll sit and listen. And when you see me posting online, you only see one post. What you don't see is the hours and hours and hours that I have spent already watching and scrolling. And I tell people off. I say, don't be a consumer, be a producer. But I still, in my personal free time, enjoy consuming other people's content like your own, because I actually love to listen. I love to listen.
Beautiful. Andy got me a book, which I haven't started reading it because he got it to me same time when I bought myself a book from Mark Simpson about the direct bookings. I haven't read it yet, but it says, I believe, Andy, is that a book about the learn to listen or talk less, listen more? Yeah. Something like that. Yes, I think it's called Talk Less and Listen More. And it's about, and the point of this book is to learn how to get most out of the conversations with people just by listening more. Ask the right questions. So yes, ask the right questions and just listen more. It's amazing. So I can't wait to read the book.
Oh my God. Do you know what? I really believe in that so much. And I think you've just picked on something really, really clever there. And I love the way see what we're doing now is exactly the perfect way to speak to someone. You are making my brain work, and your intelligence is sparking my intelligence, and then it becomes like this flow of ideas and energy, and it's an energy giving relationship. Now that will be remembered. If you can go into a room, online or offline, and give energy and make someone feel like, I think better when I'm talking to that person, I become clearer, or my ideas are sort of more abundant when I'm talking to that person, because that's how I feel with you right now. That is, again, valuable. If you go into a room and you become the person that just sits there and just talks about yourself the entire time, I just was like, and that you would drain the other person's life force.
Yeah, they're energy suckers. Like,
yes,
do you watch Harry Potter? Do you like Harry Potter?
Yeah, I love the Dementors.
My girl, again, yes, me too.
Yes.
This is how I feel like when you see those Dementors sucking the energy. That's what I feel when you got these energy suckers. It's like sometimes you are like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Like just by talking to someone, or just let them talk. I was just being 5 minutes in that presence, and I'm like, and I'm a nice person, and I'm trying to find positive somewhere, and sometimes, and I'm like, I'm so sometimes, and then you just go and then you just like, all I need is, if I can physically see someone like you, I'll go online and just quickly read one of your posts, or someone like, just to get back to this. There are positive people out there. It's not all just energy suckers.
You're so right.
So keep your good energy people with you. Like you are not going anywhere. You are my forever.
No, we are keeping each other. You are such. Now I can see exactly why. If I was one of those, and the energy drainers, the energy vampires, they will come to you because you're light and your energy is very bright, and so for them to show off, it's ego. It's basically the ego. The ego is so boring. And it's not from the soul, it's not from the heart. You want to talk with your heart, not your ego. But the ego that comes in, how wonderful does the ego feel if it's sitting there broadcasting how bloody great it is to someone like you, and you're there graciously and gracefully listening. They come away from that feeling like, oh my God, I'm amazing, because they've taken your light.
Yes. So it's like they feel amazing, but I'm like, oh my goodness.
You need a coffee.
It's like, I need a spa. I need
a massage.
I need a vodka.
You need the whole works. That's exactly how I used to feel all the damn time. And now I'm really careful. I don't take any phone calls ever, unless it's an appointment. My free appointments are 15 minutes each, because if I like someone, I'll know in 15 minutes. Because 15 minutes I can cope with. But if it's any longer than that,
even if it's draining you, I'll be like, right, okay, it's like, I only have 10 minutes left.
It's gonna end. And this is it. You've got to put boundaries, especially if you are a giver. And some of us are natural radiators of energy. Some of us are natural drainers because they're stuck in ego. But some of us are just pure introverts, and they actually don't drain energy. And they're just waiting for someone to ask them a question, and they're just waiting. And when they do get asked a question, they come alive, and they're my favorite people. But you made a very intelligent point. Is you have to ask the right questions as well. And the question I love to ask when I'm networking is, I never ask people what they do. I always just say, what are you really passionate about? I love that question.
Yeah, I tend to as well. Like I barely ever ask someone what they do. I'm more interested. What makes you happy? What do you do in your hobby?
What makes you happy?
Yeah, what makes you happy? Like I'm much more interested in that than your paycheck or your status or something like that. Tell me, do you like hiking? Do you like swimming? Do you like running? Do you like drawing? Anything? It's like, what makes you happy? That's how you know someone more.
That's how you as I said, you have to speak, you have to communicate with all the different and I believe we are sort of I do believe, like in the chakra system, for example, and I believe we have different centers of ourselves. And so, we've got our mental center and our spiritual center and our heart center, but also our solar plexus, our gut center. And you have to talk to all those different parts of the person. So if your conversation is very much just on a mental level, you're only going to get, and I'll say, what do you do for a living? I do property and that. You are not going to influence or create a connection that's memorable. because I meet a million different people all the time. And it's very rare for me to remember what somebody does. It's always very important for me to remember how people make you feel. And that's because they've talked to my heart. And if you can have a good gut instinct about someone as well, that takes time, because I think over time and civilization and the way humanity abuses itself, not just through governments and control, and I won't go down a conspiracy theory, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of pressure, isn't there, on us to
100%,
yeah, we're not given freedom in certain ways. So
no, not at all.
No, we're very restricted. But I feel like the entrepreneur is almost like the first step to freedom, it's
the things they're trying to keep us away from while we're studying, because they need intelligent people, but not too intelligent, because they don't want everybody to have these freedoms and all that.
Correct. They don't want free thinkers. We're a pain in the ass to them. Even though, we are also, some of the most powerful people in the world. They only want that to stay a small demographic. But we're the people breaking out of the matrix because we don't want to follow the rules anymore. We follow our rules. We want to be sovereign. We want to be in control of our lives. And that means on every single level. And so when I do believe that over time, and even nutrition and the crap that's fed to us, the cheap crap that is fed to us because it's cheap, it's easier for us to buy for our kids and stuff, and I'm guilty of that. I believe that affects your ability to discern. I believe it affects your gut, and I believe that's why we struggle to make judgment calls that are in alignment with our heart and our mind and our gut, because our guts have been so damaged. And it's our sense of power and self as well. So our sense of power, our solar plexus, our sense of self, and it isn't a surprise. That's where we digest stuff. That's our digestive system. So God knows how many digestive problems are in the world. Like literally everyone's got it's our sense of self.
I'm guilty of it as well.
Me too. 2 hands up for that.
2 hands, yeah.
Yeah. And my leg. Everybody's got I was just talking about my foot. That's great. Sorry for your watchers. I won't be being a foot model anytime soon. But I really believe that we have lost our sense of our sixth sense, our gut instinct. And if you look at like Aboriginal tribes and tribes that have been untouched, the way they're telepathic, and they know when stuff's happening, and they know
higher level.
Yeah,
everybody has it. We just lost it. As you said, it's either brainwashed by generations over generations, and the rulers before, and tyrants, and all this sort of different wars and all sorts. People try to obviously gain powers in the past, even now, in the past, when they were even destroying books, burning books and all that, because they wanted to burn the truth and create a new truth which was made up. And all this, so it's not even our fault that we've just been brainwashed from all that. So, but we have, as you said, it's really important to realize that there is something else out there, and just find like and listening to guts. How important is that? And as we were saying as well, so with your brain, with your heart and your guts, learn to use all 3 at the same time, and it will transform your life. It's very important, isn't it, using those? So I loved when you said that before. I've
never said it out loud before, Lenka. You've made me say that out loud. It's always been in my heart, and I've always known these things. But again, the catalyst, you are you bring me closer to my true self. So my alignment is better when I'm around you, which is so important that you get around the people. That's why you are part of me now, and that's something I'll remember.
My soul friend.
Soul friend
forever.
Ever.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And Liz, I have, and unfortunately, like because the time is ticking, I could talk to you forever, but I know that you also have commitments, or you have children to pick up from schools, etc. But I have to. There's a couple of more questions I have, which I ask every single guest. So, if I can ask you, what would you say as the top 3 tips after this on this topic which has been talking about? What would be your top 3 tips from Liz to the listeners?
Oh, okay. This is really, I love these questions. You're such a good interviewer. So my first top tip is literally look in a mirror and see if you can have a look at yourself and actually see how you look in front of other people. So I want you to imagine, especially when you're in a Zoom meeting, because that's effectively a mirror when you're being videoed, look at the way you look at the way you smile or don't smile, look at the expressions on your face when you're having a conversation. This is how people are going to pick you up. You have to become aware of how you're affecting how other people feel. So that's so important. And I stare at myself all the damn time in the video. I'm looking at myself now because I'm constantly analysing, how do I make myself feel? So a lot of people won't even look in the mirror. Look in the damn mirror, because you're worth it and you're glorious, and you have to ensure that what you're trying to say comes through on your face. This is your biggest tool. So that's number one.
I love that. This is the most unique advice I've ever received in this podcast.
Oh,
beautiful. Love it. Hit me. Next time I can wait.
This is all you. Genuinely, this is coming from you. This is coming from you. I would loving this. These things.
I should ask you for 30.
We'll write a book together. That's what we should do. We'll write a book together.
On the right mindset. Changing your blueprint. Changing your blueprint to become your higher self.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we could do. You are sparking off all kinds of things, and this is exactly it. This is tip 2, actually. Is so tip 2 is, again, going back to discernment. When you're in a situation, when you're networking, notice your physical reactions and also your physicality with other people as well. So notice if you're talking to someone, they're saying all the right things, say, oh, maybe they're an investor, and they're saying, oh, I've got money to invest, and you're doing property, or I'd like to. If your stomach feels a little bit icky, no matter what money they've got, don't listen to your ego, listen to your gut. And even if your heart is trying to make them a good person, because your heart will always do that, just quieten her down as well and listen to your gut. So be very, very careful. Do not ignore that little voice that is happening in your body, because your body never lies, ever.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And that links to I made a post recently about, and we talked about it even before we started recording, was about learning to say no, and have the boundaries and learn to say no. And this is one of them, isn't it? And no matter how much money you have, no matter what deal you're going to bring me. And I recently went through, experience when I fully practiced that, and I was so damn proud of myself that I've done it. Andy was so proud. He was like, I'm so proud that you put your foot down. And there's potentially 3 properties to do interior design on, the deal there from one person, and I was like, I'm not going to let him bully me. It was one of those things that sometimes some people are just bullies, but they're playing it very clever. So recognize that, have the boundaries, and learn to say no. It's linking to that point, isn't it, as well? I love that.
Boundaries was, do you know, I'm so glad you said that, because that wasn't tip 3, but it should be within tip 2. You've got to have your boundaries when you're networking. You're naturally going to want to say yes to everything. Do not. Check in with all parts of yourself, and no one on this earth can give you better advice than you can give yourself. If you are in alignment. If you're in a bad place, maybe go around, and this takes me to tip 3, surround yourself with the right people, because if you don't, you can learn to be more yourself. Being yourself doesn't mean sitting on the top of a hill and meditating in silence. I do not believe that. I believe I've become myself through other people. As I said before, the only 3 things that are that we know for sure is we don't know where we've come from, we don't know where we're going, but we know there's other people. So that's number 3, is the only thing you can rely on that is true. And so if that's true, the only thing that can help me become my truest self is the way I relate to other people. So I've got to be around the right people, the right energy, and you know when you want to be around someone. So be magnetized towards that gorgeous energy that you see online, offline, in your family, and take yourself away from the toxic energy that's making you feel awful about yourself. And that could be in your home, it could be online, it could be in your business. Make those decisions to surround yourself with the good, shiny people, not toxic positivity, real, genuine love and positivity. And they will make sure that you stay in alignment, even when you're having a wobble, because we all do. They'll help you, remind you who you are, because that's all we do. We're only remembering who we really are, and other people are the way to do it.
I absolutely love that. Those tips were beautiful, 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 just like you are. So thank you so much. And I'm sure that as listeners going to really learn a lot from this episode. Liz, you are absolutely amazing. And I also ask another thing I've always asked my guests, do you have any book recommendation that changed your life? Either listen to or read. What would you recommend to my listeners to read?
100%. The only book that's changed my life is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I read it 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And it is all about, honestly, this book, you have to read it, and it's hard read. If you get it, it just changes your life, because we are in full power constantly in the present moment, and that's all that matters. And that's all I'll say, because
I love that. So what's the author again?
It's Eckhart, Eckkhart, Eckhart Tolle, and I spell Tolle, I think it's Tolle, but it's The Power of Now, and it's one of the most popular mindset, personal development books. And it will change. It's not even knowledge. It's actually what we were just talking about. It's actually it's taken away information and helping you remember who you are, what the hell you are.
That's exactly what you were talking. You literally were just talking about. Your point 3 was we don't know where we're going. That it's about now. What we know is now and people. And you just said that's your favorite book. That's amazing. It's all linked. Yeah, that nicely.
It's always flowing.
It's all linked. And I have one more question. As I said, as I always do as well, is that I always ask my listeners as well, if you would recommend something to watch. It could be a documentary, it could be just your favorite movie, or could be something mindset. Whatever it is, what would you recommend to watch? If Liz would be like, right.
Yeah, I love this. So it's a million things, but it's on Netflix, and it's called The Discovery, and it's a film, and it's about funny enough, it's a very deep film, profound, and it's about some scientists that actually found a machine that proved there was an afterlife. It's not real, it's a fiction, but it's based on what could happen. And then what would happen, it's funny because we just mentioned this and you're a bit psychic. What would happen if we knew what was going to happen afterwards? What would happen if we actually had the knowledge of the afterlife? And the film goes deep into human psychology, and it just changes your mindset, and it makes you feel so grateful, because I love films where you come away from it feeling enriched, you know, and that one,
The Discovery.
The Discovery, and it's got a famous person in it. And I cannot think of his damn name, but it's The Discovery, and I'll put it in your link somewhere if people want to know. But that film just is quiet and it's slow, but it's really about the meaning of life, and that's the only question that I wake up every day wondering and wondering for the answer for. And I just love anything to do with that. So I know me and you're going to talk about these subjects in depth, Lenka.
Oh yeah, I really feel like the book is coming, and it's coming as well that we have the same style when it comes to like your Heineken Connect. It's black and gold. Our Lenk's property is black and gold. Imagine how elegant our book will look. Not could look, will look one day.
It will look gorgeous. Oh my God. It's happening. It's happening right now. The eternal now.
And that's what we're saying. Be careful what you're saying. So instead of saying, imagine how it could look. No. Imagine how it will look.
Exactly.
Get out there one day.
Yeah. We are, time doesn't even exist. We're in the eternal now. It's so funny you saying black and gold. I'm here with my black and gold. Love black and gold. And there's that song. Oh my God, Lenka. Okay, there's a song by someone called Sam Smith, and it's called Black and Gold, and the words are about reality and the nature of reality. You have to listen to it after this podcast. Everyone needs to go listen to what the song, not Sam Smith, Sam something, and his Black and Gold. Yeah, Black and Gold, and some of the words in it that say, if you're not really here, I don't want to be either. Filled to the top with fear, we're all just a bunch of matter, or something like that. If you're not really here, I don't want to be either. I want to be next to you, black and gold, black and gold. Now that's a really profound thing, because we were just saying the only thing that's real is that I'm here and you're here, and if we're not really here, I don't want to be here. Like you're the only thing that's real to me right now. There's no one else in this room. It's just me and you, and you are everything. And that's what I truly believe is the only thing that matters. So that song, Black and Gold. There's too many synchronicities here.
I love that.
Need to write that down, book.
I am going to listen to that on my journey because I'll be driving back to Devon this evening. So I mean this afternoon. So I'll be listening to that. Liz, what a wonderful recommendations, what a wonderful tips, it's just, you were absolutely fantastic. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am again for you coming on this show. And I can't wait to share your wisdom, your knowledge with the rest of the world. So I'll let you know when this episode's going to go live. Can you just quickly tell our listeners as well, if they want to follow you, where they can find you?
I am all over Facebook, but you'll find me as Liz Baitson, or you'll find me, you can go to www.lizbaitson.com, and then it's got all of my different businesses there. And you'll be able to find High Net Connect and all the other things I do. But yeah, I'm easy to find. You'll be fed up with the sound of my voice, so I'm everywhere.
Oh, which is amazing, honestly. Like this is what I mean. Like, you're absolute queen of the networking, and you're doing it so well, and you're doing it so genuine, like just genuine. You know, it just feels,
I love it.
And it feels right. It's not like serious business, and you need to be serious and all that. No, have a bit of fun, be natural, be happy, be yourself, basically.
Yes.
And what I love about following you is the what's the word, authenticity of your post. And it's like there's a truth, so it's like you're not masking anything, and and there's no, and the beauty as well, as we said about this free marketing, is that there's also, even though we don't have full freedom, we have certain freedoms, and we can say certain things, and you just being so honest and open and funny and yourself, and people laugh as well, and that's what makes people want to follow you and learn from you. So I'm very proud to be your friend. I'm very, very proud to be your friend.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me, and I just thank you for just such an amazing time. Like I don't want it to end.
Me too. It's like, if we wouldn't have to have a adulting to do.
I know. I am a mummy.
I can't wait for our next, like, a real catch up in a face-to-face. Let's just block a whole. We can't just meet for an hour. That's not going to be enough.
We need a whole damn day or weekend. I'll take.
Oh, my lovely. Well, thank you so much again. You are absolute star. I'm wishing you all the best for the future and everything.
Thank you.
Which obviously it's not like we never will talk again, but I mean, like, the ending of the episode, wishing you all the best with your businesses and everything. And thank you again for coming. You are a superstar.
Oh, thank you.
Take care, my lovely. Bye.
Bye.